Comparing two-digit numbers using symbols, we're going to use dominoes. So here we have 4 10s, 3 1s, 4 10s, 3 1s, and I write it like that so students understand the value and concept of 43. It has 4 10s. 2 10 0 forms 20. 2 10 0 has 2 10s. That has less amount than 43. It is only going to get 1 dot. 43 is greater value than 20, so it receives 2 dots. Now what I just did is I gave this symbol mathematical meaning. So as you practice that, you can take this to a warm-up in your classroom when students understand the concept of that symbol, and you could have a foam mat. So now what we're doing is we are going to turn over 2 cards, and we want to know which is greater than and less than. So here we go. 8 is greater than 2, and I'm constantly using that language. This is just a very quick warm-up to practice this concept. 2 and 9, 2 is, that does not work, so we have to make this work. And using that language, what do we need to do to make this work in class when you're doing this whole class is fantastic. So 9 is greater than 2. Now this is 2-digit numbers, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn over 2 cards this time. And I'll ask my students, is 24 greater than 87? Is that true? It is not true. We'll ask why, because 24 has 2 10s and 87 only has 8 10s. So now I'm going to change my question to not is 24 greater than, how can we move these digits around so that we have a number that's greater than or less than? So students may simply just say, switch the 10s. That leads into great conversation of why did that make that work? Here we have 8 10s. Here we only have 2 10s. 8 10s is more value because it's worth 80, and so forth. Now, you can also ask students, well, what happens if I also do this? Is this still true? Is this still true? Is this still true? So use this as a warm-up of creating it just a real fun warm-up activity. You can ask students, here we have 5 10 1, 51, 5 10 3, 53. They both have 50, so what do we do next? And this helps us go into place value. Also, how many 51 is less than 53? How many less? You can get questions like that in and so forth. All right? So this is another way to use greater than, less than. You also can flip it over. You can do less than, greater than. Maybe you want to use dice today. And you might want to say, okay, make a true statement. So now students can be writing on their whiteboards a true statement. 22 is less than 43. Who wrote the same true statement? You can say, is this still true? Is this still true? Who wrote this one? So it's very, very open-ended. I think dice, and for me, for this, was harder to see. So I like cards. Is this still a true statement? We just go through the same process. How do we make it true? Is that true? So we're really engaging students and giving them engagement in part of this process, and being able to justify why this is or is not correct, which is mathematical practice number 3. Enjoy.